This video is to give you the Cliff's Notes on constant velocity, what we mean by it, and the vocabulary and skills that surround this topic. I'm going to by necessity be brief because we don't need to be watching videos for the rest of our lives, but here we go. Constant velocity is the topic, but we can't start there with velocity because velocity is built on the back of other topics. We have to start with something more fundamental. And there's nothing really more fundamental than the idea of an origin. An origin, or another word for this, is a reference point. Spelling is hard. A reference point. Okay? What do we mean by this? Okay, this is the place from which other places are measured. That's why it's called a reference point. How do you know where you are? Well, from somewhere to somewhere else. We want a reference point, which we can also call an origin. This is a zero, a starting point. So on the back of that, once we have the idea of an origin, we can now measure other places. Where is this other place with reference to the original place? It's a little bit funny. There we go. Hopefully. Once we have that idea, then we are able to build on top of it the idea of position. If we don't have an origin, if we don't have a reference, we cannot talk about the location of anything because we don't have anywhere to reference. We do this intuitively, but we have this idea of a position. Important notes. In this course, we will use that symbol, x vector. It is a vector to represent position. When we get into 2 dimensions, we will refer to it by both x and y. In 3 dimensions, we would add a z, but we're not going to get into 3 dimensions. So, position, things you need to know. It is a vector value. We'll talk about what that means exactly, not right now. So, position is a vector. You need to know that. There's the symbol. What do we mean by this? It is the location of an object with reference to the origin. That is what we mean by position. It's really 2 things. It is the distance and direction from the origin to the object. Draw you a picture. If the origin is here, if this is our origin, and my object is here, this is my object, then the position is this arrow, from here to there. This arrow is the position of the object. It is the distance and direction from the origin to the object.